Alright, welcome back, guys, to episode 4. I'm having to record this intro over and over again because something happened with my recording software and I lost the first part of this video. Anyway, we're going to start off today with 4 tesuji. You're going to see the board a little weird here on the first problem because I have to re-record the first part again. But then after that, everything's going to be the same. Anyway, let's look at this first problem here on the right here. Tesuji problem. We are playing as black, and as you can see, black has 3 liberties and white has 4 liberties. And so now, as black, I propose to you, how are we gonna win this semi? If we attack from the outside, like so, then white will win the semi this way. So, what can black do here? And we could lean like this, but then white can do a throw in and start a ko where white is taking first. And so black can do better here. So what do you guys think we can do? Well, the move here to tesuji here is, remember, in the corner or in the side situation, the first person to play the extension in the corner wins because of the unapproachable move that ends up giving this side with the extension here. So as black, if you play here, now black has 4 liberties and white does 2. But 2 of black's liberty is unapproachable, as you can see here. So if, let's say, white cannot approach on this side, by the way, because when white does that, white remove one of its own liberty, and then now black can just play here and win the semi that way. So white has to attack from the other side, which is this side, and then that leaves black to play here. White can push in one more, but after black plays here, as you can see, the 2 liberties that black has, white cannot play, because if white play here, black will capture, and if white play if white play here, black will capture. So the only thing white can do here is to connect here, and then now that leaves black to play the last part here and win the semi. So let's move on to the next problem. And remember, the board's going to look way different because I had to record this part over. So please excuse me on that. And let's move to the next problem. Now, the left problem here, it's similar, but it's not towards the corner, but it is towards the edge here. And as you can see here, we're playing at white this time, and white is 2 liberty versus black 3. And now if you want to extend the liberty like normally, like how you would do it on the second line, is to play here, black can just Atari you this way, and you will lose the semi. So as white, what can we do here to gain extra liberty while reducing black? And the key move here is right here, an extension again, pushing towards this side. Here now, white has 3 versus black's 3, but since black cannot approach from this side, like this, he'll be an Atari. And then, so the only place left for black to play is right here, and white can just Atari from here. And if black try to start a ko, it would be a mistake for white here to take this ko, because then now black can start a 2-step ko. You don't want to do that, so you just leave that here and approach from this side. And then now black cannot play here because that's Atari. Of course, white will capture here, and black cannot play here. So white has won the semi once again. So remember the extension here and the extension here. So on the side, when you are fighting for a semi, remember most of the time extension is the correct move. Now let's move down to the lower left here, and I feel like this is one of the most important tesuji to learn, as you know, as a Q trying to move towards the dan, especially around 5Q, 6Q. I feel like this connection, a lot of Q misses this connection, and the connection here, if you see, if black can connect this stone, white's area will be diminished very, very largely. So if we play something like from the underside here like this, then as white can start a ko and protect and connect here. This is okay, but it's not good enough for black. Black can do a lot better. And if black chooses to play from this side, then white can just easily push down like that, and here black has failed. And the move I want you to remember here, a very basic move that will come up in your game very often, surprisingly, is this knight move here. This is a very, very clever move to connect. If you watch Dan game, even sometime you see it. Of course, Dan player will most likely never miss this move. But as you can see, the reason why it connects to black without connecting is it makes this move and this move miai, which is their equal. So if white were to play here, then black would slide here. And then now, as you can see, black is connected. White cannot cut because of this stone right here. And conversely, if white were to play here, black can just take this other spot. And now, as you can see, these two stones are captured, and again, black is connected. Alright, so we're back here with the Chinese opening. If you missed this, then you might want to catch up on episode 2 before you go on with this. But here, on the last part, I left you with a question that this black Kosumi asked white, what else can you do here other than, protecting this like this and fall into black's hand of getting attacked while black makes profit down here. So a way to resist, and if you found this move, then good job. This is a strong resistance by white. However, the next follow-up move is very critical, and if white does not know how to reply or play around here, then white's shape could be in trouble here, and you definitely don't want to be in trouble in the middle of the Chinese opening framework. So here black will push on either side, and black will push on this side because pushing from this side will keep the black structure too low here. You notice all the stones are low, and so you want to push over here as black because of this high stone here. The shape is looking good. And then white will jump with 4. Black will then push out with 5. And here's the critical move, okay? What you don't want to play is 6 right here, because after black peeps here, white will block, and then black has a nice another peep right here, and after 10, this shape is very heavy, not efficient as white. So this is not as satisfactory as for white. It does reduce the framework somewhat, but there is a better move here to defend, which is I forgot to turn on the toggle coordinates here. Sorry for that. At N7. So now if black pokes through, that cut is no longer here. If black pokes, then white connects, and this shape is a lot better than what we had before. If black chooses to cut, then this stone is caught in a ladder. So white is fairly safe here, although because of this ladder, black does have some free moves over here, and so I don't know if the result is good for white here either. So let's see if there's any way, any better way that white can play here. So it turns out that yes, there is a lighter way to play in this area, and you might want to keep this in mind as a main concept of opening when you are in your opponent's moyo and you're trying to reduce. You want to stay as light and airy as possible so you can throw away some stones if needed be, or just like playing probes move. So in this situation, you are in your enemy's territory, and as the art of war would say, you don't want to fight in there in your enemy's territory because the advantage is towards your enemy. So basically here, white wants to move in, reduce black's framework, but at the same time want to jump out as fast as possible. So when black plays something like, wait, whose turn is here? So black plays something like R4, the Kasumi, then instead of responding here or here, another option you might want to keep in mind is something like this. Very light, very airy, and very hard to pin down and attack, as you can see here, because black's territory is still a little weak elsewhere. So even if black contacts here, you can just jump here even. But most likely, black will try this other Kasumi up here, trying to develop this side and connect to this side. And a nice move here for white, very, very elegant move is this one. And let's just say if black wanted to cut this, then we could play the driving tesuji all the way down. And as you can see here, white shape now is looking very nice, influence outside, and still has the possibility to poke down here and attack this stone here. So because of that, black will just try to connect here, and after that, white can cap at 7. And as black could play a various amount of thing, but a typical standard play here would be right here to protect this area. And as you can see, the shape of white shape is very nice and very light and hard to attack. And to be able to break through from Q to Dan, you have to be able to play light like this without being too afraid. And remember, the driving tesuji is very important. So a stone like this, the knight move like this, do not be afraid that black could able to cut this stone, because in order to cut that stone, white shape will get reinforced by a lot, and that's not a bad thing in the end, just giving up one stone. Now let's take a look at what if, because of the last result, black won't play here, but instead black will just jump here first. While in this case, there is a nice tesuji right here to pin black down. And if black plays submissively at 3, then white can pull back at 4, and then black is forced to connect here. And now black's position is low here, which is okay, and white is very strong on the outside and very light. Once again, this is what you want to do as white when you are jumping into black's moyo. And black, remember here, black started out with the moyo, very strong moyo here, double wing formation, backed up on both sides, and white was able to just jump in here and wreak havoc, as they would say. And as black here, you have to learn to be very satisfied here. So let's move on to the next section of this Chinese. So I show you why white doesn't want to block here. When white jump in and black plays this, white doesn't want to block, because after this is very, very bad for white. White, it's going to be running. If I was black, I would push white this way, and wow, look at the profit that black is building underneath from this attack, playing right into black's hand. And one thing you do not want to do in this situation also is to come in low. Just with like the concept of earlier, you want to stay light, you want to stay airy, you want to be get in and get out as fast as possible. You just want to reduce here. You don't want to really build anything unless you can build a stronger shape. If you jump in here, black will kick 100%, and then you would have to pull out. And after that, we are back where we started, where white is no eye space right here and getting attacked from this side, and black is building from both sides and profiting. Another way that white can possibly reply to black's Kosumi here is also at P8 because of this stone here, the pressure here. So what this threaten is, let's say if black plays here, white can push black essentially like this and develop the outside. And as you can see with a move like here or here, the outside influence is getting pretty good for white. So because of that, because black doesn't want to get pressed down like that, so black is forced to play the Kosumi move like here. And then so now white has a nice move here, which black will respond from underneath. And then after white push on the head here, black is left two choice here or here, because if he does here, white sente move is here, so black don't want that. So black connects here, and then now white can pull out like this. And this shape is okay for to play as white. There is a weakness here, but then there is also a sente move if white pushed here. So black will most likely want to push a few more times. And the more times black push here, white gets fairly strong on the outside. And look, you did a great job of reducing this moyo, and the outside is very, very strong. And so I want you guys to really think about next time when you move into a moyo to learn how to play light like this. Attack from the top down, with move like this, threatening to press black down all the way to the center, and then keep it nice and airy. Don't be afraid to play big knights in the center move. Don't be afraid to play knights. I know there was a certain area during my growth in Go that I would be afraid to play knight moves because I would be afraid to get cut. But the thing about knight move is it's safer than you think. And the more you practice with them, the better you'll get. And your opponent, if they don't practice it, will not be able to attack your knight move. And so now I leave you with a problem here for you to think about. It's always nice to think about a problem on your own instead of me telling you what to play and what can't be played. Because while you work out a problem on your own, you learn a lot more. That's just how life is. You can be taught something, but when you actually apply it to a situation in your game, you're going to learn a lot more. So let's say with this knight move, after that, black respond like this, and white caps. Remember how I said that black will respond from the bottom? From the bottom here? Well, what if black doesn't, and black plays this shape here? Think about this one and the best response white can play. And remember, this stone is a multi-purpose stone. How can white punish black for overplaying with this move? Let me lead you to this first. What white will do, well, the only play for white to play here is this, because you definitely do not want black to push through and separate the white group, right? And white will cut here. What is the best response here for white to play with the help of this stone. And I'll see you guys next